one second-rounder from Miami. To make the money match and fit Gordon's contract under our salary sheet, which is all about smart asset optimization, we would send Dalton Knecht and Jared Vanderbilt over to the Detroit Pistons. Meanwhile, Denver unloads nearly $33 million in payroll and generates close to $24 million in tax space, which is a huge relief under the luxury tax hard cap, allowing them to re-sign Peyton Watson next to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. To get that done, they receive Nikola Jovic, Jake LaRavia, and draft picks, including our own 2031 and 2032 second-rounders. Miami gets Cameron Johnson to shoot three-pointers next to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they also take on Bronny James in the process. Now, let's look at this from a fan's perspective, regarding our front office. Are we actually building toward Banner 18, or just running it back with unproven depth? If the front office actually pulls this off, it is an absolute home run, even if losing a young sharpshooter like Knecht and a lockdown defender like Vanderbilt hurts. Yes, Aaron Gordon turns 31 next month, and his contract is expensive, plus he has a rich history of injuries that have kept him out of major playoff games. But Gordon is a proven playoff starter who had an elite impact on winning. We cannot afford to play it safe when our championship window with Luka Doncic is wide open right now. Pushing our chips in for a proven winner is exactly the kind of aggressive move this front office needs to make instead of hoarding young assets.
How does this look on the court under Coach J.J. Redick? Visually, this fit is absolutely seamless. Picture Aaron Gordon flying down the lane on a screen and roll action, catching a lob from Luka Doncic while Austin Reeves spaces the floor on the wing. In Redick's fast-paced offense, Gordon would act as the ultimate play finisher, crashing the glass and cutting through the defense using dribble handoff actions and vertical spacing gravity. On the defensive end, he gives us that physical, versatile force at power forward we've been begging for, sliding right next to Walker Kessler in the starting front court to lock down the paint, provide elite point-of-attack defense, and act as a major force of rim deterrence. My unfiltered verdict? I am doing this deal in a heartbeat. Gordon's toughness, championship pedigree, and defensive versatility are exactly what we need to catch up to OKC and San Antonio in the West. Yes, losing Nets shooting is tough, but you don't pass on a proven champion. So, Lakers family, where do you stand on this? Would you trade Dalton Knecht and Jared Vanderbilt if it guaranteed landing a perfect starting power forward like Aaron Gordon? Or is the injury risk just too high for you?
Adel Ahmed of Heavy.com just laid out a fascinating hypothetical four-team proposed trade that would bring a massive fan favorite back to Los Angeles. Bronny James's contract for this upcoming season is fully guaranteed at a cheap $2.3 million. Instead of keeping him on our bench, this trade idea sends Bronny James to the NBA champion New York Knicks. In return, the Lakers receive Malik Monk, a 2030 second-rounder from New York and a 2031 second-rounder from Detroit. To get Monk's contract of $20.1 million under our salary sheet, which is a masterpiece of asset optimization, we would send Dalton Knecht, a 2030 second-rounder, and a 2031 second-rounder to the Sacramento Kings. Detroit gets Jared Vanderbilt and Miles McBride. Meanwhile, Sacramento clears out Monk's salary, putting them around $14 million in tax space and $19 million in apron space to get financial flexibility for their rebuild. Let's talk about the front office on this one. If our front office can turn Bronny, Knecht, and Vanderbilt into Malik Monk, they deserve serious credit. This deal completely defeats the speculation that Bronny would only join to meet with his father, who signed with the 76ers in free agency. But let's be totally honest, are we giving up too much of our future here? Knecht's cheap rookie-scale contract and Vanderbilt's lockdown defense are major pieces. Are we actually building toward Banner 18, or are we making desperate moves because the market is tight? I love Malik Monk, but giving up Knecht's long-term upside hurts. Still, adding a premier bench scorer is a massive step forward.
How does this look on the court under J.J. Redick's system? Think about how Malik Monk fits into our high-octane offense. Picture Monk coming off stouter screens, flying into dribble handoff actions, and just pulling up from deep with elite catch-and-shoot efficiency and incredible spacing gravity. He's 28 and in his absolute prime, and we know he can heat up in a single possession. Having Monk as a lethal spark plug behind Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves solves our major rotation depth and guard depth crisis. He gives us that explosive secondary playmaker who can get downhill, run the pick and roll, and ease the creation burden when Luka rests. My unfiltered verdict is that I would do this deal in a heartbeat. Malik Monk is a certified walking bucket who belongs in purple and gold, and our bench is desperate for that kind of explosive firepower. But I know there's a huge debate about trading Bronny and giving up Knecht's potential shooting. So, Lakers family, tell me, would you pull the trigger on this trade to bring Malik Monk back home, or is Knecht's shooting upside on a cheap rookie contract too valuable to trade away?
Wait, let me back up for a second because this next rumor is so wild, I actually had to rub my eyes to make sure I wasn't dreaming. As our summer stalemate continues to drag out, we are apparently looking past our main targets, and a former All-Star's name just got linked to us, and the insider reaction to it is absolutely brutal. I know we are all desperate for news, but this particular update has me scratching my head and seriously questioning what is going on behind closed doors. Here's what actually happened. Adil Ahmed of Heavy.com is reporting that our ongoing summer stalemate with free agent forward Jonathan Kuminga has stalled out, causing speculation to spread to other targets. We've been trying hard since late June to sign the 23-year-old, with team insider Kobe Price reporting that Kuminga is still our top target to fill that starting power forward spot and add wing depth. But with that saga dragging on, ESPN's Mark J. Spears reported that several teams have expressed interest in Ben Simmons, who is open to signing a cheap veteran minimum contract. Spears even mentioned a Western Conference team has a non-guaranteed minicamp offer on the table. Naturally, fans started connecting the dots to LA because of Simmons' history with our head coach J.J. Redick, who was an ardent defender of Simmons during their Philly days. But NBA insider Alan Silva on ESPN LA just dropped a massive truth bomb, saying the Lakers should have absolutely zero interest in him, arguing that if other teams aren't jumping on him, there's a major reason why. Honestly, Alan Silva is 100% correct here, and the front office needs to listen. If our front office even thinks about signing Ben Simmons instead of focusing on finishing the job with Jonathan Kuminga, I might lose my mind. Are we actually building toward Banner 18, or are we just collecting big names whose careers have completely stalled out? I get that Coach J.J. Redick has a relationship with him, and Simmons even went on J.J. Redick's podcast back in 2022, but a podcast relationship doesn't turn a shell of a player back into an all-star. Simmons averaged only 3 points in 18 games for the Clippers and looked completely broken. We cannot waste roster spots on reclamation projects when our championship window is open right now. How does this look on the court? If we did the smart thing and got Jonathan Kuminga, he is the perfect athletic wing to get downhill, slash to the cup, and guard multiple positions in J.J. Redick's system. But picture Ben Simmons out there. He literally clogs up the paint, has zero shooting gravity,